to not squint so much. I didn't realize this was just my resting face.
Fuck you. I was trying to drink water. You're listening to The Weekly Chaos, a gaming news podcast brought to you by The Offbeat.
What's up?
And myself, Yeslana Gray, where each week we go over the changes, mishaps, and news from the gaming industry. Today, we're ignoring Gamescom as best we can and covering pretty much anything else we've come across over the last week.
There's a lot of Gamescom. We'll get to it.
Yeah, Gamescom's going to be literally like probably just the dedicated like hour or something. It's going to be stupid. But there's a couple of things I want to chat about. One in particular being the propensity of making everything into a fucking film. That's definitely a high feature at the moment. It's something that's going on a lot, and I'd like to discuss. And the rest of it's kind of just we'll pick at it as we go through.
There's a good bit of odd sod topics, but yes, at the
pinnacle.
Yeah.
Is the fact that just everything's a fucking movie now. Like
I had my mind blown when I saw that they were making a Slime Rancher movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm excited. Slime Rancher's freaking adorable, but at the same time, of all things that I thought was going to be turned into a film, that was certainly not in my predictions.
Yeah, no, like, and I'm confused as to whether it's going to effectively just be a big, like, 2-hour-long lore dump, which would be astounding.
If for all intents and purposes, that's about all it can be, because otherwise you don't want to just watch them legitimately just...
Could you imagine 2.5 hours of farming?
Of actually farming and collecting the plorts.
Yeah, just 2.5 hours.
It's literally presented as like a player, like, oh shit, I found the tabby slimes. I better go mix these fuckers with something.
Yeah, or being like, oh shit, where do I go? Oh, I need a key. Where do I get a key? What's a key? What's a key? Help, help, help!
That's a big old freaking slime. I wonder what happens if I feed it. Can I take it home? I can't take it. Oh my god, it exploded.
Exactly. Like, it has to be a lore dump, but like, do we lore dump basically just recapping the Slime Rancher War 1 to 2 like lore? Does it just recap everything so that effectively you could play the game without having to look at the lore in the game and just kind of skate through? Or is it like...
I would assume it's going to probably try to expand more on Beatrix's previous relationship before going to the far range.
That'd be pretty cool. A bunch of like flashbacks and shit.
God, what was their name? I can't remember the name of the partner, but I just remember that they were left ambiguous so that in your brain you could make the relationship any way you wanted it to. Like they didn't explicitly say what the gender of the partner was. So
and is their name given?
I'm sorry?
Is their name actually given in the game?
Yeah. It's given in the letters they send to you.
Oh yes. You're correct.
I want to say Cass, but I don't know.
Yeah, that vaguely sounds familiar. Honestly, I don't remember. I never played Slime Rancher, so obviously my partner Val did, but not myself. But I noticed, and as I was looking through this article about Slime Rancher, also there's a Vampire Survivors TV show coming too. So
I'm sorry? Fucking what?
There is a Vampire Survivors animated TV show coming.
I mean,
made by the same people.
I've seen Vampire Survivors, but I never really thought of it as being adaptable to film, only because if I recall from what I've seen, it's a $5 game on Steam because it's a top-down pixel shooter.
Well, apparently it was so fucking popular that the same guys that are making a TV show for Slime Rancher are also the one as a movie, sorry, for Slime Rancher, are the ones making Vampire Survivors into an animated TV show. So yeah, I don't know. It may look extremely basic, but if you give Vampire Survivors' clever one-stick shooter idea a chance to sink its teeth into you, it might not let go for a while. So apparently, it's really, really basic, and it's top-down, and it's pixely as fuck, but at the same time, it's addicting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't think, looking at it, that there was enough content there to make any kind of televised production.
I don't know, but apparently, yeah, it's coming as an animated TV show, which means at least like 6 to 8 episodes, if you think about it.
That's insane. How the fuck are they gonna add a plot to that?
I don't know. Like, I mean, if we want to just keep touching on stuff that's being made into television or film, we're also getting a Jak and Daxter movie. Apparently,
yes. Tom Holland and Chris Pratt sounds
which supposedly, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, which is the most stereotypical response we could expect out of them right now. Who else would you pick up? But I want to know which way round this is going. Are we talking Tom Holland to play Daxter, or are we talking Chris Pratt to play Daxter? Because I feel like Chris Pratt playing Daxter would make far more sense.
I want Tom Holland Jak.
Yeah, like I feel like this fucking pop up on my screen. I feel like the only way you can do this right is to have Tom Holland as Jak, because otherwise you'd have to make Jak like 20 years older than he needs to be.
I just like the idea of Tom Holland Jak.
That too, and I honestly, if not Chris Pratt for Daxter, can we at least have Seth Rogen, just because it would be fucking ridiculous?
Now the question is, which of the 3 games are being adapted? Well, 3 mainline, I should say, because my God, there's actually a lot of Jak and Daxter.
There is. I'm hoping I'm hoping their plan is to get all 3. Like, I'm hoping that's where the plan is to go to like do the lore for all 3. But I really hope they don't try and jam it into one fucking movie.
I mean, it's a very old game, so I don't know if it would be spoilery, but I still want to talk about the second game just because, like, fucking the whole the time travel thing blew my freaking mind. Jak 2.
Yeah. Well, that was Jak 2 was the fucking he was also the kid he was protecting, if I recall.
Yeah, because he was switched in order to grow up in the proper environment to be the resistance leader, but then also swapped again when he was older to keep him safe so that he could come back and protect himself as a kid. It was a causality loop type. It was fucking weird.
Yeah, I remember that being absolutely insane. And then Jak 3 turned up and they were like, let's just kick him out and make him drive cars everywhere. And I was like, you know what? That's an astounding solution for this. I'm down for it.
Well, the combat racing in Jak 2 was one of the better parts of the whole thing, so it made sense.
Yeah, honestly, I remember like going into Jak 2 and being like, wait, why are there cars now? Because I never finished Jak and Daxter, like the original. So I was like, why can we drive vehicles? And then all of a sudden I was like, these vehicles have like guns on them and I can fly around with them. And then we got to like driving outside of the city and I was like,
just
holy shit, what is this?
Fuck your classic platforming and spin attack. Now we've got guns and a devil trigger.
Exactly, which just went absolutely fucking wild. At its core, I adore Jak and Daxter as a game. It was like a decent chunk of childhood after like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, and I would not be even slightly mad if they decided to make 3 movies and do 1 for each movie. But I'd also be slightly mad if they decided to do 3 movies, because you could probably sum it up in 1 or 2. Doing it in 1 might not be very good, but you could probably do it in 2 pretty comfortably.
Wouldn't be very satisfying, I feel, if they did just 1, because if they did just 1, they would either not touch on either of the 2 sequel games, or they'd try to compress it all into 1. Which, if there's anything we know, trying to make the story of multiple games into 1 movie is a horrible idea. Looking at you, Welcome to Raccoon City.
Look, yes, there is very minimal good ways to do it. So hopefully, based on the fact that, you know, fucking Uncharted has done well, Last of Us has done well, it gets a good proper shot and what comes out properly. Because I'll be very disappointed if it doesn't.
I hate that all the promotion for Welcome to Raccoon City made it look like the Resident Evil movie we wanted, and then they literally just hodgepodged and stitched the entirety of the plots for both the first 2 games and tried to call it a film.
Look, have you seen modern television? That's not that far off what half of it is.
It's
Not to specifically call out anyone. But
horrendously poorly done. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It looked so fucking good in all of its promotional shit that I was sorely disappointed.
Yeah, it'll be that way. But the other thing that and on a slightly similar conversation, considering we're talking about Chris Pratt and voice acting and stuff like that, we'll just quickly segue over to Charles Martinet.
This was somewhat actually somewhat upsetting.
Yeah, like this kind of felt like it hurt on like a childhood level. Like it took away my childhood. I want to know what a Mario ambassador actually is, though.
I would assume it means that either A, he's going to make public appearances for promotional efforts, or B, he has to sign off on a Mario voice actor before they can actually put it in a game, because he's openly said that he's not involved in the upcoming game Wonder, but they do have a voice. So I'm wondering if that means that Charles had to give his blessing to be like, yes, you may be Mario.
I swear to Christ, if they got Chris Pratt, I'm going to be mad. If Chris Pratt becomes the canonical Mario from now on, I'm going to be so mad.
I think Mario's spoken in promotional shit for Wonder, though, and it's like the generic like an accent as far as I know, so I would hope it's not Pratt.
I don't know. Here, let me just real quick. Let me pull it up. I haven't watched the trailer, so I just want to hear him speak. That's all I want.
Onward and upward.
Can you speak, bud?
As far as I know, it's like the only recorded voice line is when he grabs the whatever it is that triggers the Wonder effect. But he just says, right. Wonder!
He did wahoo before, but yeah, could be voiced by fucking Mickey Mouse at this rate. Oh. He didn't speak. He didn't speak. It's... Yeah, I'm those gonna have to sit here and watch the whole fucking trailer. Which I will do at some point, but not right now. I don't know. He look, no, the normal Mario noises came out. We still got wahoo and yaha.
Oh, that's what supposedly it's not Charles. He said he's not involved in the game. He isn't recording for it, so it is somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it doesn't necessarily seem like they've just reused stuff, but yeah, I don't fucking know. I really want to know what a Mario ambassador is, because
in any case, to have been the voice, the original voice since Super Mario 64, and then to announce that he's no longer voicing Mario it hurt. It hurts.
On top of that, do you suppose they're now going to use like multiple voice actors? Because like Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi, and a few others were all Charles.
Yeah, they're all Charles. That's right. Like basically the entirety of what we would know to be the main cast, save for Bowser, is Charles. Yeah.
So like, do you suppose they'll give more than one voice, or are we still just going to have one person voicing them all, but just not Charles Martinet?
I mean, I feel like the easiest thing would be to just have one person take his role, but at the same time, who knows what Nintendo wants to do?
Yeah, it's it'll definitely be interesting to keep an eye on it, for sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, that was a hit to the childhood, which after the uplifting news of Jak and Daxter getting a TV show, the Charles Martinet one was a bit rough. I am vaguely entertained by Starfield making Pluto a planet again. How long have we all been like, no, Pluto is still a planet? And then Starfield, of all things, I don't know if it's because it's 25 years in the making and they just haven't updated it, or
I think Bethesda just knows the truth. I think Bethesda just knows the truth.
Yeah,
that we all know deep inside, Pluto is a planet.
I do have to question, what if we're classifying Pluto as a planet again, which stopped being classified as a planet due to its dwarf planet status, are Bethesda going to give us the rest of them? Are we going to get like what is it, Eris and Ceres, and there's a few others back there that are all like dwarf planets? Do we get a whole bunch of extra planets in the solar system?
Well, from what I've read in the article is that the lack of naming for the other dwarf planets, and specifically including Pluto's name as a planet, is what implies that they have declared it to still be a planet. Because if it were just naming every dwarf like cosmic body in our system, then we would see all the names. So the whole premise of this article is the fact that they didn't name those things, but they did name Pluto.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it would be nice if they just make Pluto a planet again, just for the fucking sake of like Pluto being
my
a fucking
very
planet.
eager grandmother just served us 9 peaches. Give us the P. I want the P. Put the P in me.
It took me a second to process that's the old like mnemonic for remembering the fucking planets. So I was like, what in the actual hell are you on about? But
it doesn't work without the P. We need the P.
We need the P. Otherwise, what exactly is your very eager old grandmother doing?
Just my very eager grandmother just served us 9, and then just a blank space.
Just served us 9 nothings. But yeah, I'm interested. There will definitely be I wonder if we'll get the same divide that we get in like
just
in
served us
societies.
9. Disappointment.
But if we get the same like divide in society where like people being on Bethesda's side for the first time in 10,000 years, and people being on the Pluto is not a planet side.
Which I've read that Phil Spencer has already been playing Starfield since like early August, apparently, and has like over almost 200 hours in it, and is like, you guys don't understand, this game's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, there's a number of people that have had access since like the start of this month, I think, that apparently it's fucking incredible. And the only bad thing about it is the fact you never sleep again.
I've even seen an article that basically said, like, you guys don't understand, the game doesn't really open up until after the main story. And I'm like, the fuck?
So they finally realized the Skyrim problem where everybody like ignores the main story and then does all the side quests and then eventually maybe comes back and does the main story.
Oh, yeah,
so they just made sure.
I definitely didn't kill Alduin until I had done everything else.
Yeah.
At which point it was the most disappointing fight in the whole game, because it's built up so heavily, and then it's just another dragon fight. He doesn't do anything different.
Yeah, no, it's fucking ridiculous. But like, they've clearly realized that's what the issue was. So they've decided, you know what, the best way to combat this is to make everything exciting after the main story.
The best way to combat
we'll make the main story 10 minutes long and then everything else.
The best way to combat this is to give us Elder Scrolls 6. You fucking idiots.
Well, look, at this
announced
point,
back in 2018. Here we are, still in development.
Look, yeah, but we're still going to get Elder Scrolls 6 before we get GTA 6.
Are we though? I think we're gonna get
might.
Killer Bean.
Yeah, I mean, oh shit, I don't have Killer Bean up. Give me a second. Killer Bean. I am very interested to see what the hell this game comes out as.
Yeah, we've got some killer news we've been dying to share.
You know the slight problem? I can't find the fucking game. There it is. There's the trailer. Because this game is looking fucking ridiculous. Like, it's basically just... I'm going to turn that down a little bit. We're looking at, like, GTA, but as being an exponentially larger, with exponentially more options. Like, I don't understand how this has come out of nowhere as well. Apparently there are previous Killer Bean games. I didn't know about them prior.
Forever.
But like, I'm also getting vague like Duke Nukem vibes out of it.
And apparently there's also a first-person mode.
Yeah. But unlike Fortnite, they gave us first person off the rip. I don't know, like they.
I mean, I love the fucking gun fu type shit, like the flipping around.
Yeah.
Everything looks great.
Yeah,
it all looks so good.
I honestly, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It looks absolutely ridiculous in so many fashions that there is nothing bad about this game so far.
I mean, you German suplexed a bean. Why? What's to hate?
Yeah. The only thing I'm noticing in the trailer that makes me question is the presence of civilians. Do they exist?
He's just the bean. He killing everything like a proper coffee should.
But like, I'm not seeing civilians. Do we have civilians, or have they just written them out entirely? Because I don't know about you, but I saw 0 civilians, and therefore 0 random cars to steal off the face of the planet. So I'm a little concerned about that. Just as far as I like to have some source of insanity. Oh, all right. Well, no, Killer Bean 100% looks delightful. It's got to look better than whatever the fuck Nintendo is doing with Pokemon at the moment. Which, again, back to that topic. How the hell
in the
did
future,
they go?
Everything's a fucking robot.
Yeah, like apparently the solution is robots, which I'm sure some of our non-binary friends will be very happy, as a lot of them like to refer to themselves as Borgs, which, you know, robots. But like they've decided to just make Pokemon into robots now. That's the thing.
Well, it's like with Scarlet, you get prehistoric Pokemon, which allows more like options for like creativity and to make them more unique. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, like Giraffe Raikou. However, it seems that their only solution is for any Pokemon in the future is they're all going to become robots.
You know, I also didn't understand at any point that Scarlet and Violet were meant to be split sections of a timeline. Was that explained in the game and I've just missed it somewhere?
It's only explained in Area 0 with the Paradox Pokemon, because in Scarlet there's a rift into the past, and in Violet there's a rift into the future.
Okay, cool. Because I was very confused why we had such differentiation between them, because like I've played not a lot of Pokemon Violet, to be perfectly fair, but I didn't realize that there was such a defining like line between the two in that kind of sense. But yeah, why is everything just a robot? There was so many better options you could have gone
I feel
down.
that there is a lot more, like if you really wanted to think about it, I feel like there's a lot more options you could have done if you wanted to just do something futuristic. They don't always have to be robots.
Yeah, like we could have gone like cyberpunk. Like
they're all robots, and all of their names start with iron. All of them.
Of course they do. We couldn't have gone like cybernetic rather than full robot, like, you know, Pokemon with a fucking laser eye or something.
Which when they did the event to let you get the prehistoric Suicune, they also released futuristic robot Virizion, and now with the first DLC we're gonna get the prehistoric Raikou with, as you can see here in the screen in the middle, the robot Cobalion, which means that at some point we're probably gonna get robot Terrakion and Dinosaur Entei. Yeah.
Look, all I can do is hope that Dinosaur Entei is better than
Giraffe Raikou.
Yeah, like that's all that's got to be. It's just got to be better. That's the important part. Because, yeah, I don't know, like Nintendo have done a lot of weird things over time. For example, making trash bags and ice cream cones into Pokemon. But why everything has to be a robot when there was so many other ways to express future?
There's a Delibird robot. It's adorable though.
Oh, at least they've got cute ones. That's something.
Go ahead, just look up a Paradox Delibird.
Yeah, gotcha. Paradox Delibird. Image. Oh,
little robot Delibird.
You mean this thing?
Yeah.
If it decides to fucking, I don't want to go to Twitter. Don't take me to Twitter. Oh, okay, do take me to Twitter.
It's X
sorry,
now.
X. X. Like, it's adorable. Absolutely fucking adorable. I'm sold. I'm 100% sold. I'll have that as a robot before anything else is a robot.
It's a real robot.
Just a weird robot. I want to quickly cover over. Fuck that. I don't care about Zack Snyder's main fucking thing. Actually, you know what? While we're here, fuck it. So apparently Zack Snyder likes to main this one particular skin, which is Mr. Meeseeks, in Fortnite. And the only reason that I particularly had any like reaction to it was the fact that Offbeat seemed to think it was weird to have a main skin in a game like Fortnite where like everything is just a skin.
When I think mains, I think like skill sets, kits, abilities, like things that actually make each thing unique, and they don't have features that make them unique in Fortnite. So what the fuck does it mean to have a main?
I mean, I get that 100%. However, I did the same thing for like the longest time. I mained like one skin where it was just the only skin I ever loaded. Like I never randomed my skins. I didn't have like different presets I went through. I legitimately just ran one skin. So like, presumably, why are we pointing down?
There's a Yaz down there.
Hello. Yeah, like I kind of get it. We should make a Yaslana gray skin. Let's do it. But you know, I wanted to talk about Sony's fucking remote play gaming handheld. That still requires
$200
for $200, but you're also instead of it giving you handheld gaming, you still have to stream it from the console.
It just plays from your PS5 on the go.
Yeah, like it just allows you to play your PS5 anywhere.
$400-$500 console plus a $200 extension to play it on the go. $700 to play your PlayStation games mobily.
It's literally it's $700, which includes the console and then a screen with handles. Because that's all that center bit is. It's literally just a screen with handles.
Which looks like it'd be very easy to break.
It does. It looks like a shitty iPad. Like realistically, it's like the Microsoft version of an iPad.
I had seen someone make the point of it looks like they took a PlayStation 5 controller, soldered it in half, and then just jammed a screen in it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, especially with the width of the like the touchpad-y section on like the PlayStation controllers, it's not far off. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems a little bit lackluster. There was probably a better way to do this. I don't know what.
My genuine concern is literally like I feel like I could break it, and not even trying. Like I feel like I could literally just snap it in half.
Yeah,
like just trying to shove it into my bag to take it somewhere.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It has no local play like capability as well, which concerns the fuck out of me. Like, why would you build something that 100% relies on your having a Wi-Fi connection to the original fucking platform? Like, because obviously you Switch and your Steam Deck, stuff like that, you can load the game onto it, you install the game, or you fucking or even like the old.
Now I have to wonder at the same time, does doing this turn your system on at home? Does it turn your PS5 on and it's just running
better
while
question,
you're not there?
Do you have to be on the same Wi-Fi as your original PS5?
I know you do for the Remote Play app. You have to be on the same Wi-Fi. Well, actually, no, you don't have to be on the same Wi-Fi. You just have to be on any Wi-Fi. But being on the same Wi-Fi makes it easier to connect to your specific system. So it might be more of the same of that. Because I have, when I want to check things on my PlayStation without waking up Rin, I actually will use Remote Play on my phone. And then I can boot it up. My phone becomes a screen, and then I can just shut it off, which... It's this, but there's face buttons. I don't know the difference.
Yeah, look, I don't really know what Sony's plan is with this particular device or what the market demographic they're aiming for is, but hopefully it hits the right people. I think at that point I'd just buy a Steam Deck. It's more expensive, but compared to buying this and the console, it's about the same price.
You could actually just play your Steam games on the Steam Deck without your computer.
Exactly.
Hell, I've been tempted to buy a Steam Deck only because there's also a dock station you can get with it that turns it into a Nintendo Switch. I could play my computer games on my TV.
I honestly recently have entirely been on the same thought pattern of just I could just buy a Steam Deck for the sake of like that and being able to like take it with me for appointments and shit and being able to play like Remnant in bed. I'd be down.
Yeah, like fucking I have been very tempted to get a Steam Deck just because I'm like, I could play my Steam games in my room. I could play them on the go. I could just play games without a computer, and that's honestly very enticing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a solid device, and this from PlayStation is not going to match the same market. But speaking of Remnant, we'll just quickly touch on congratulations, Remnant 2 for taking down Diablo 4 as the best-selling game of July.
I would like to point out the actual insane amount of sales numbers it took to accomplish this, only not for the fact that Diablo 4 had a hell of a solid streak, but Remnant 2 released at the end of July.
Yeah,
it had like 1 week to take it down.
Yeah, and to be fair, it fucking deserved it. Like it's an astounding game. I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
It's a great fucking game, but like it had 1 week to take the number one spot, and it just skyrocketed into position.
Particularly fucking impressive, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little confused by the list on here though. I want to know where they pulled the data from, because obviously Remnant 2, Diablo 4, cool, and then we got Modern Warfare 2, which is that the original or the new one? Like, is it the original or the remake? I'm not sure. Hogwarts Legacy, which I cannot for the life of me believe is still fucking like up on the charts,
still making sales.
Yeah, like as
far as I know, it's like after the month that came out and all the controversy kind of hit its peak, it sort of petered out. People don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, which sounds about right. Final Fantasy, what is that, 16?
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense.
Which is also it's a good game.
Which, as far as I understand, Pikmin 4, quite fun. But how the hell did Pikmin 4 outsell Tears of the Kingdom? I realized Tears of the Kingdom wasn't released in the same month, but I still don't believe that. I'm still relatively certain that Tears of the Kingdom should have been higher on the list.
I mean, MLB The Show 23, come on. It's the fact that it's even on the list.
Sorry, what?
I said MLB The Show 23, the fact that it's even on the list. It's a sports game. Yeah.
Hey, look, Elden Ring's still on the list.
Yeah.
That is singularly quite impressive.
Elden Ring is getting prepped for its first DLC.
It is. But, like, I'm quite impressed by the fact Elden Ring's still on there as high as it is, considering how long it's been out for. And Street Fighter 6, honestly, I expected it to be a bit higher. I honestly expected Street Fighter 6 to be up there a bit further. Just because everyone was fucking talking about it for, like, a whole month there. And then I swear something happened and disappeared.
Yeah, other games released.
Yeah, that tends to be a problem.
I mean, unfortunately for games like Street Fighter, in the end of it, it's still just a fighting game. And then once people get over that premise, like personally, I like fighting games, but I only like them for like a week. After which it's just a fighting game, and only the true diehards are going to play that game competitively for long periods of time.
That's true, especially if you don't have like friends for local like couch co-op and shit. Then your options are a little bit more limited.
Like Forza?
A lot of people like no
call back.
But like, unless you've got like, you know, your friends and family around that you can like 1v1 at home, and unless you're particularly big into online fighting games, which a lot of people don't enjoy because of 97 different reasons, one of which being, you know, various server lags and shit like that. Its market at the moment with the declining couch co-op kind of goes downwards as well, because less people are going to buy something that you can't play with everyone, and that you can't play like nearby. Which I suppose brings us to the Naruto game, the new one that will allow you to to selectively ban people on shittier consoles.
No, it doesn't ban just people. It bans the entire console.
Yeah, like it allows you to selectively.
You choose to not play with the older hardware, so you don't have to lose your frames.
Yeah, which I think is honestly, it's a good system. I think it's a good system because
it's hilarious.
Like, it's a slightly redundant system because they shouldn't be that fucking ridiculous. But like,
hey bro, I just got the new Naruto on PS5. Did you get it? Yeah, I've only got PS4. Well, fuck you,
bud. But like, I kind of get it. Like, there's definitely something to be said in being able to, at will, you don't have to have it set this way, but you can choose to turn off matchmaking with last gen consoles. And I feel like that's actually a decent system. I'm not that mad.
They're gonna phase them out anyway, so
yeah. I mean, it'll be optional turn off for the next 2 years.
A lot of people,
and then they'll just roll out a patch and turn it off.
Like a lot of developers are already phasing out the older shit.
Yeah,
giving up on their alternative versions and whatnot because it takes too much development power and they waste time and money.
Yeah, and I feel like we're probably seeing the last run of a lot of games on PS4 and Xbox One. That's the one, Xbox One.
Yeah, Xbox One and Series S, which is also funny because technically the Series S is the same generation as the Series X, but it's the digital only system, and as such its hardware is weaker. So even though it is of the same generation, it is still considered to be worse, and as such can be blocked.
Yeah, and the Switch, which seems mean. I swear the Switch isn't quite that old. Like, I swear the Switch. Yeah, but in my head, the Switch isn't old enough to be classified as a last gen console, but I know that it is.
It's the only reason it can't be classified is because there's no new gen console to replace it from Nintendo. But ultimately, it is the generation of like it's. I would say it's almost older than the PS4.
Nah, release date for the Switch isn't that far back. Surely not. Nintendo Switch released in 2017. Holy shit, 2017. 2013 was the PS4.
Oh, well, I guess I stand corrected.
But it honestly, it runs about as well as if it was released back then. But in my head, it's something that was released with the PS5 and the Xbox Series system thing. And like, that's where my brain puts it in terms of release date. And yet clearly it's technically a last gen console, especially with like the improvements in technology in the last like 5 years.
And yet you get Tears of the Kingdom and it shows up and shows that the Switch could still run super well with the right optimization, which brings into question why some games are just horrible.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, especially with like the original launch for Scarlet and Violet and how janky and buggy it was, people are like, "Well, obviously the Switch is getting too old, and we just need the next console already." Yeah, and then then the fucking Tears of the Kingdom comes out, and it's and Pikmin 4, and it's like, look how well these games run. Look how beautiful they look. We don't need a new system. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, look, honestly, I feel like it's literally just down to the difference between game ports and games developed for.
So, in the retrospect of things, Game Freak has stated that due to these kinds of turn of events, they have decided that they are going to analyze and adjust their release windows for Pokemon games because of admission that they just crank them out too quickly. People don't need an annual Pokemon game. They want a good Pokemon game.
Which is 100% true. And you know what I'd like to see? I want to see if they ever come up with a because I mean, don't get me wrong, Scarlet, Violet, and Arceus, whichever way you want to pronounce it, good releases for what they're achieving. But I want to see what happens if you try and jam like Legend of Zelda and Pokemon together as a gameplay
Legend of Pokemon.
But like, imagine that as a gameplay type. You've got a game where you're like doing all your Legend of Zelda things. You're running around doing all the things you would do in like Tears of the Kingdom and catching Pokemon at the same time. Or launching them to the moon, depending on your player base.
Wasn't that Legends Arceus?
To a degree. To a degree, from what I understand, at least. I again have not played much of it. But speaking of games and their optimization, Half-Life 2 getting ray tracing for the fuckery of it.
Oh yeah, it's and I mean, just in that still image alone, just in the thumbnail alone, like that looks really fucking pretty.
It does. We will properly touch on that next week with the rest of the Gamescom news. But it's one that I'm just confused about. Why? Just why?
Because they'll do anything except write a 3 on it.
I know. Can't give us Half-Life 3. We got Alex and this ray traced thing. It can't be that hard to give us a Half-Life fucking 3.
Unless if this is supposed to be like a proving point in just how well that they could make a game with modern like graphics and such, and then to be like, you know what?
Can we do Half-Life 3?
Let's do a 3.
Let's give the people what they want. Speaking of giving the people what they want,
let's do a 3 and it'll be completely polygon.
But yeah, Darky Darker again back in the headlines. This time not for their own problem necessarily, but because people keep cheating in the game.
I just love that the answer is a Discord bot that's only going to be alive for 30 days.
Well, I dug into it a bit, and it looks like their Discord bot is effectively there so that they don't have to like individually respond to everybody who's complaining about it. So they've given a Discord bot that has probably a response form that you have to fill out about what exactly happened, so that they don't have to individually for each case go, okay, I see that, tell me more, and then keep diving in and have that full conversation. But again, why is it only 30 days?
Yeah, it seems like I would imagine it's a matter of resource management, but at the same time, how hard can it be to maintain a bot for a while? Like, how hard can it be to just keep the bot up?
Hopefully, this is them saying in 30 days we'll have this done. Like in 30 days we'll have a system in place. Because
AAA developers can't fix a cheating problem in 30 days. I don't expect them to.
AAA developers also don't give a shit about the cheating problems in their games. When was the last time you went into like a fucking Warzone Discord and were able to be like, these people were cheating, and Warzone like responded and gave a shit?
Well, I mean, I'm just talking specifically into anti-cheat software. Like AAA developers can't get rid of cheating.
True. Fingers crossed this gives them enough time to get some insight and at least put some steps in the right direction, though. I'm hoping that's why it's got a 30-day window on it, is because after these 30 days, hopefully they'll have something in place and then they'll be more available to respond individually moving forward.
Everyone just gets slapped in the face with an Amogus. I don't know.
Just for the fuck of it, I guess.
That's just the result, just Amogus.
Yeah, just a bogus. Every time it catches anything about you cheating, Amogus.
Just Amogus.
Amogus. Well, yeah. Yep. I think that kind of brings us to the end, doesn't it?
It's been
dark and darker again.
This time with less Triple H,
but more feeling. Yeah. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, whatever, on any and whichever various platform you happen to be on. We're on all of them. I think legitimately all of them. But
I mean,
like
more than at least all that I'm aware of.
Yeah, so all the ones I found so far. But you know, likes, comments, feedback, any of that kind of stuff, highly appreciated. And that's us for the day. Enjoy your lives.
Woo! I was here.
You had a face. We did it.